Since 2015, I've always had a PC strong enough to play PC games. Not at the highest of highest levels, but always at a pretty good level to where I could take advantage of the PC, and for the most part it could always look better and run better than my console counterparts. So the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox 360 in that era, or the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, whatever the case was. And now even with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, my PC for the most part still can do a better job than those systems, and I've always had a ton of games on there. On Steam, I just have like hundreds of games on Steam. Recently, I got the Epic Game Store launcher. I got Final Fantasy VII Remake, Intergrade, and all of that. And every single time I boot it up, I might play a game for like just a little bit to see how it runs, kind of optimize it with the NVIDIA experience that I do have, and then just stop playing after that. And I never really quite put my finger on it why that was the case, but I always kept hope that there would be just like one Gaben Steam sale or one game like Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade that came out that just got me to be more into the PC gaming line. And as I've been playing for the past week plus of Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I've just been going through and I've just been enjoying myself, being enthralled in that world and being able to kind of play that type of game anywhere, whether I want to play on the TV, on there on my OLED, or play lying down on the bed, or play when I go to my mom's house. Whatever the case is, it made me realize at this point that I just don't think I'm a PC gamer. I'm not sure if I ever will be a PC gamer, and for the most part, I just quit PC gaming completely because I went on my Epic Game Launcher and deleted the albatross that is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, a game that pretty much has so many cool, I guess not fully, but they've done some updates, but for the most part looks incredible on the PC. But I have a bunch of other games that take full advantage of the power of my PC and can do some really cool things and just look great. I have a 4K display. I have everything that I need to enjoy these games and all of this amazing graphical quality and frame rate speed and everything like that. But this little game, Pokemon Legends Arceus, that comes about, that honestly looks barely better than what we saw back on the Wii or so. I mean, honestly, there's a ton of games on like the Wii U and stuff that definitely look better. Yes, it looks smoother and all that than all of the games on the Wii. I'm not trying to sit there and say that the Wii games look better, because they don't. But you guys get the picture. When it comes to like to the detail and to like the environments and the land, nothing is crazy in depth or anything. But I think that this was the game that finally made me say, you know what? I just don't care. I just don't care about the graphics race anymore. I just don't care about all of the different frame rates and all that type of stuff. 150 frames or 140 frames. Heck, all that stuff is very nice, especially when you're playing a game like a shooter or something like that. It'd be very good to have that, and I hope in the future Nintendo definitely upgrades so we can get better frame rates and all that. But what I realized, especially after all of these years, I've been playing games for decades now, is that I honestly just don't care. I'm going to choose the game that enthralls me more into the game than saying, okay, look at this tech spec, this means this or that. And I think that I've always felt that way, but I've always tried to say, okay, well, let me try out this, or let me try out that, let me just see how things are. And in the future, I could, but as of right now, I pretty much deleted all of the games that are on my PC. I pretty much deleted all of the big games that are on my PC taking up space, so I can make more videos like this. No, I'm joking. I would have space in other ways. But, you know, I do have a 1 terabyte SSD, and all of these games that are on my PC here take up space. And I've actually had to constantly start deleting some of my VOD videos that I have or other things, just because sometimes I would run out of space and everything. And that's not a big reason why I decided to start deleting stuff on there, but it was more so that I'm not using it. There's just a bunch of PC games that I have over the years that I've collected from Steam sales that are just albatrosses. I mean, these games are 50, 60, 70 gigabytes, 100 gigabytes. Like, these games are absolutely massive in file size, and I'm not playing them at all. And then you have just this tiny little 6 gigabyte game on the Nintendo Switch, and it completely blows away my expectations, even though I had high expectations for this game. I already knew Pokemon Legends Arceus when I first saw it. I already knew that the game was going to be pretty good based on them trying something different. I thought that it was going to be pretty good. Then when they started showing off more of the gameplay loop and the mechanics and what was going on, I started getting really excited because I started to see the DNA of what makes a lot of my favorite games, or a lot of the good games, good on the Nintendo Switch when it comes to just the busy nature of the game. Are you collecting stuff? Is there resources? Are you out there crafting? Like, what can you do in order to supplement the main gameplay loop to keep things interesting, to keep you going back into the world and keeping you just doing things? And Pokemon Legends has that. I don't think I've ever had as much fun in a Pokemon game purely just playing and not doing the main quest. The fact that there's so many things that you can just do and you can just have fun with it, and that's not even doing a side quest or a main quest, just collecting and just playing the game. Heck, we're hearing reports of people spending upward of 50 hours on the first area of the game. I have about 60 hours as of the time that I'm recording this video. I spent around 15 hours or so, I think, on that first area. I know I spent quite a bit of time on that first area. Sometimes some people have beat the game in that time period. So it just goes to show you the type of range this game has. But it finally made me realize that I just don't care about PC gaming. I just don't care about the highest graphical settings. I just don't care about the highest all of that. Because look at this game. Look at Pokemon. I mean, yes, there's room for improvement. Trust me, I want them to do things better. I think that once the next Nintendo Switch comes out, they're definitely going to continue this Legends line. It sold 6.5 million units in less than a week. I mean, it's out there cooking it, right? So obviously they're going to continue this and they'll get better at it. But that's what I want to see. I want to see the mass gameplay improvement. I want to see the new ideas coming. I want to see all of that. I want to see the Pokemon Company. I want to see Nintendo always focus on that, what makes a game fun, more so than anything, you know? And I feel that a lot of these games that come out today are so focused on, let's make sure that the graphics are this and that. Let's make sure that we do this and that. And it ends up being broken. Ends up launching and being broken. Heck, look at some of the games that came out where the graphical showcases, they wanted to make sure everybody knew they looked good, but launched in such a terrible state. Games like Cyberpunk 2077, games like Battlefield 2042. Look at these titles. Heck, Call of Duty Vanguard. A lot of these games, highest graphical fidelity, best quality sound and all that. They want to make sure you guys are all tuned in and locked into the visuals, and the game comes out and it barely works sometimes, you know? So to me, I'm just kind of done with that era. I'm just kind of done thinking that everything needs to be like that. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see games and Nintendo and more people take advantage if they can, but make sure that the game is complete. You know, I just want to be able to play a game that's just fun and engaging, and I'll get used to whatever it looks like. Because I'll be completely honest here, when I first booted up Pokemon Legends Arceus, the visuals were definitely a bit distracting. I was like, whoa, this is not what I thought, you know, basically like when you get it into your hands. But the more I started playing it on my Nintendo Switch OLED as well, started playing it on my OLED TV, and the more that I played, the more that I realized the graphics kind of just blend in to what the game is doing. It's a simplistic game at its surface level, but once you start getting deeper and deeper, it becomes more apparent that, hey, all of this just gels. And it doesn't distract me anymore. It looks just fine to me at this point now that I've been playing for so long. So I think that definitely there's room to improve though. Definitely not saying that they can't do things to make it look better and everything, but it just started to flow for me the more that I played the game. And I just honestly just don't care about the highest graphics and the highest frame rates and all that. I just want great games that work and play really good. So I pretty much just said, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with the PC stuff, deleted all the PC games, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to go back. But once again, that doesn't mean that other people can't enjoy it. That doesn't mean that you guys can't have fun playing PC and other stuff. That doesn't mean you can't be hyped for the Steam Deck or anything like that. I think all of those things are fun. I think that the more options that people have, the better. So I'm definitely not trashing anybody's opinion on if they want to continue playing and all that. I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a slice of what I've been thinking over the last week or so, and kind of like what I did in terms of PC, because people have been asking like, hey, you're gonna get into PC gaming or stream PC games? And I guess this would pretty much be my answer now at this point, probably not. So what are your thoughts on this, guys, when it comes to Pokemon Legends Arceus, when it comes to PC gaming? What are you excited for? Whether it comes for the Nintendo Switch, Pokemon, PC gaming, whatever the case is, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, let's go ahead and move on to some topics here. Batman Arkham Collection for the Nintendo Switch has been listed by a French retailer. What the heck is going on here? Batman Arkham Collection? All right, let's check this out here. So Batman Arkham Collection has been listed for the Nintendo Switch on the French retailer website WTT. The listing has a release date of August 31st, 2022 and a price of $59.99. Now, this isn't the first time WTT has listed a game before it was announced. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was previously listed for the Nintendo Switch by WTT ahead of its official announcement. Now, Batman Arkham Collection released for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC in November of 2018. It includes Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight. Now, here's an overview of the Arkham Collection. Batman Arkham Collection brings you the definitive versions of Rocksteady's Arkham Trilogy games, including all post-launch content in one complete collection. Experience two of the most critically acclaimed titles of last generation, Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City, with fully remastered and updated visuals. Complete your experience with the explosive finale to the Batman Arkham series and Batman Arkham Knight. Become the Batman and utilize a wide range of gadgets and abilities to face off against Gotham's most dangerous villains, finally facing the ultimate threat against the city that Batman is sworn to protect. So, very interesting here to see this. I think that this is correct. Nate from Direct Feed Games has talked about, or hinted more like, with the whole Batman thing that he was doing on Twitter, that yeah, this should be breaking. And then Video Games Chronicle and a bunch of other websites over the past weekend actually picked up on this, and here we are at this point. So I definitely think it's happening, and that was absolutely correct with The Witcher 3. Nobody thought The Witcher 3 could come to the Nintendo Switch. They said it's impossible. We had people that even said they would do pretty bad things to themselves if it did happen on Twitter. I mean, it was a mess, okay? People just did not believe that The Witcher 3 could run on Switch or would come to the platform in a physical form, in an actual native form. They thought that maybe it'd be like a cloud or something else like that, but nope, it was actually The Witcher 3. So I do think that Batman Arkham Collection could come to the Nintendo Switch, or more like will come to the Nintendo Switch. Now, the one thing, or at least the multiple things that people are thinking about, is how is this going to actually get done? Like, are the games going to be physically on the cartridge? Are they going to be, okay, you get one game, then you download it, all that type of stuff. So I would think that it's probably like you get one or two games and then like you download the rest, or the one game that's left or something. Or maybe you get one game on the cartridge like Batman Arkham Asylum, and then the rest you download. That's what I'm guessing. That's what BioShock was. That's what the Borderlands collection was. I mean, that's what a lot of these big games that came over from 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, that's what a lot of those collections are. Not if it was just an individual game like Batman Arkham City or Batman Arkham Asylum, or heck, even Batman Arkham Knight. I think that would probably just be, okay, we can get it on the cartridge. That would just be that. But it's probably not going to be, considering the size of these three games. So there's not much of these big Western collections that are actually all on the Nintendo Switch cartridge. Now, we're gonna have to wait and see, because this isn't an official release. People have already been peppering me with questions when I posted this on Twitter. I'm like, dude, it's just a rumor, or it's just a listing. We don't have any official confirmation yet, so we don't know. But that is my best guess at this point. That is my best guess at this point, but we'll see exactly what happens here. These games are phenomenal, by the way. I think that Batman Arkham City is the greatest or best superhero game of all time, and I've played pretty much all of the really good or critically acclaimed superhero games, and I think that Batman Arkham City, to me, still stands head and shoulders above the rest of the superhero games out there. Literally just has everything. And honestly, even if you go back and play it on the Xbox 360, it still looks incredible graphically. Even comparing it to the games that are coming out today, it looks super good. So when these games do come over, you won't have to worry about how it looks unless they botch the ports or anything like that. But yeah, I'm definitely down for Batman on the Nintendo Switch, and I would pick it up myself and I would play for sure. I'd probably stream it. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? When it comes to Batman potentially coming to the Nintendo Switch, this would be a first for a Rocksteady title on the Nintendo Switch platform. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the final topic here, I did want to discuss the Famitsu's most wanted games. I don't talk about this very often, but I felt like, hey, let's just go ahead and mix it up and discuss some of these games here. So Famitsu's most wanted, this basically polls the Famitsu readers on what they're hyped about the most, which I talk about on this channel too. I say, hey, what are you guys excited for the most, and usually have polls and everything. So let's talk about it here. We're gonna go over the top 10, although there's 30 games. We're gonna go over the top 10 here. Bottom to the top: Elden Ring, Gran Turismo, Bushido, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Triangle Strategy, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, Dragon Quest X Offline, Splatoon 3, Bayonetta 3, and Final Fantasy 16 at the #1 spot. So if you're looking through all of those, pretty good mix of PS4/PS5 games. Elden Ring, for some reason, this is the PS4 version, I guess because Japanese owners can't find a PS5. But Gran Turismo, that's coming to PS4, but that's the PS5 version people are excited about, I guess because that game's all about the graphics. So of course the Gran Turismo fans out there are very excited about that. And of course Final Fantasy 16 is only on the PlayStation 5 and of course PC, but in Japan the PC games just don't trend like that or bought like that like they are here in the West. But the rest is pretty much Nintendo Switch titles here. I'm very excited to see games like Bayonetta 3, Splatoon 3, Triangle Strategy in at number 6 was a little bit of a surprise, but that's definitely a core gamers game, the type of game that the Famitsu readers are definitely going to prop up and say, heck yeah, we're excited for this. 353 votes, pretty good on that one. And of course the eternal Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. This has been on the list pretty much since Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 was announced back in 2019. Oh my gosh, we're going on 3 years for that game. It's got to come out this year. I don't care what anybody says, it's coming out this year. So very excited to see all these various different games here. What are you most excited about out of the top 10 list? And of course you can check out the full top 30 list as well here. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak just made it outside the top 10, but I guarantee you that game is going to shoot up as we get closer to the summer release of that game, because it's Monster Hunter and it's Japan, so you already know good and well it's going to be hype. It looks like that's going to be a pretty in-depth and detailed expansion to Monster Hunter Rise, so I'm looking forward to that one. So what are your thoughts on this list in addition to all the different topics that we talked about? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for someone new, click that notification bell. We will see you for the next video. Peace.